TMS, the morning substitute.
There you go. The morning sugar substitute. All right, here we go. I think we're going. Yeah, we're going. This is going. It's going, and we're going. So here goes as we go. Gotta click the right buttons. Here we go in the right order. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Biggie, medium, small, kids meal, keep it straight. It's a good deal. Use the scoop to fill with ice. Never use the cup, take my advice. For soft drinks, fill the ice halfway. No matter the size, that's what I say. Tilt the cup and push against the lever. Keeps the foam down now, isn't that clever?
Small town dicks.
The morning stream. Is it just me, or does the jungle make you really, really horny?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the morning stream. It is TMS for Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. So we got a 10-20-20-20 going on
10,
here.
20, 20, 20, 20,
20.
20.
The month is almost freaking over. We got like 10 days, so lock
I
it
work
in.
at Wendy's and I'm bored as hell. Make sure you fill the Pepsi very well.
She's so deadpan. Like, that's part of their marketing. It's part of their training video. You'd think she'd be a more upbeat rapper, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. Not hit that. Get a home run there, lady. Don't be
Working
so-
the burger line, falling asleep. Make sure you use lettuce, but don't go too deep.
too deep.
Too deep.
You know, too
Bad
deep into
lettuce
the
on the
lettuce. Yeah, you don't want that.
Use lettuce on top.
Hey guys, I think I have an idea. It involves fries, but don't give a cheer. I don't know.
I
What
like that you're trying to do the ABAB instead of the ABCB. Well done.
I'm trying to up my rap game because I struggle. I'm very old school about the chicken tastes like wood kind of style. That's how I do it.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't do like the
Stuff
new
on your
rappers.
shirt already, Mom Spaghetti.
That's good stuff. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It's Tuesday. We're going to do our Tuesday business, and we're glad to have you along with us for the ride. So welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. Let's start with wishing you all a happy 2008 episode. That is the year of Batman: The Dark Knight and Iron Man 1.
Wow. Dark Knight.
The
That was
beginning.
a great Nerdtacular.
Oh, it was one of the best.
It was.
One of
Totally
the
was.
best. Yeah, and Iron Man 1, the true launch of the MCU, man. Think of that.
Mhm. That's right. Exactly. I was thinking about Iron Man 1. Actually, I was thinking about both of these movies the other day because AMC has a deal now. Say, what kind of a deal?
What kind of a deal?
AMC has a deal now
Yeah.
where you can rent a theater for you and up to 20 of your friends, or I guess it'd be you and up to 19 of your friends
Okay.
for $99.
Oh, that's not bad.
Now,
That's not-
it starts at $99.
Yeah.
If you want to see something like Tenet or New Mutants or something that's brand new,
Yeah.
you're going to be paying like $200, $300. Even then, that's still not too bad.
Still not
If
bad.
each of your 20 friends chips in, that's still not a bad deal. But if you want to see something older that they don't have to pay fees on, whatever the fees are, then $99 is not bad to like say, hey, even 10 friends, let's each chip in $10. Let's
So hold on. I could do a 20-person Mad
mini-
Max Fury
mini-
Road Day thing.
You totally could. Yes.
What? And I assume everyone's requiring masks. It's 20 people, so you're
Yes.
all spread out. Like, you can do this.
Yep. Doesn't include popcorn, drinks, anything like that. You still have to do, you have to pay for those individually, but 99 cents. I mean, $99. 99 cents would be it.
I could totally do this. Holy
You
crap.
could totally do that.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
hilarious. I didn't even think about the MMFR business.
Well, yeah, there's huge
But-
potential there, and I have plenty. I have 20 friends around
Yeah.
here. I could do it with people
yeah,
I
the
trust
Denver
and know.
Tadpole Group.
Yeah.
Who wants to come watch Hudson Hawk on the big screen?
Oh yeah, slurp
Spice
my butt.
Girls, the movie. Oh my God. Oh
Yep.
my God. Spice World, the movie.
Do it.
Actually, this is a great opportunity to pick a movie that you never got to see on the big screen
Mm-hmm.
and then do that as your movie, right? If
Yeah.
they can do it.
And this is the time to
Well,
do something weird like this because everybody can just Venmo you the cash, like you're just done. Like
Yeah,
you're just
right.
done. Or you can host it because you're just feeling generous and you're like, here's $100 toward a cool thing.
Right, exactly.
Mm.
It's a very interesting,
It's a
very
tempting,
interesting thought.
It's a tempting idea. A Mad Max film festival.
Oh, AV Tech John says I'd rather watch Hudson Hawk over Mad Max. Boom!
You're an insane person. I'm not even sure Brian would say that. Would
Mute
you?
kick. Just
I mean,
kidding.
you love Hudson Hawk, but if somebody said, "Hey, we're having a movie theater, we're renting it out, and so we're gonna have a big fun stereo experience. Do you want to watch Mad Max Fury Road? Do you want to watch Hudson Hawk again?"
100% I'd rather watch Mad Max on the big screen than Hudson Hawk.
See,
I like Hudson Hawk a lot.
sure.
Ball, but I like but I feel like if it's gonna be on the big screen, I'm not gonna waste a Hudson Hawk.
Yeah, why would you do that? Come on now. And why not
Yeah.
both? Sure, do them back to back. That's fine.
Oh, there you go, double feature. What
Yeah.
if you I wonder if you have to pay extra. So like if you pick a Pixar movie, do you have to pay for the short as well at the beginning, or if is it all included?
Oh, I don't know how that would work. But Dice Tomato, you can just get up and leave. You can just leave after the show. First showing.
That's right, exactly.
We'll-
After Hudson Hawk.
Yeah, we'll start with Hudson Hawk.
Fury Road.
Yep, there you go. Which reminds me, you sent that. I'd seen it, but you'd sent me that video of the Die Hard commercial for the Die Hard batteries.
Yeah.
That was great. And what makes it
It was
great,
great.
isn't so much that they tapped Bruce Willis, no big deal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy. But the fact that they tapped dude in the, what's his name? Argyle.
Theo Argyle, yes.
Argyle and the other guy that was like
And Theo, the van
Theo,
driver,
the hacker
yes.
guy. The only thing that
The
would have made this
quarterback
better,
is toast.
it would only have been better if they'd have gotten like that Huey Lewis looking dude from the first movie.
Right, exactly.
That was
I don't know. I
great.
mean, it would have been even better if Alan Rickman were still around and he could, be
that
working
would have
the.
been great.
Yes.
Well, except that you can't do that because these are only people that survived that we saw in this.
True. Right. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Theo was
lived.
the one, and Huey Lewis dude died too, didn't he?
He did. So yeah, my idea's out the door. Can't have the. You could have had the cop, his cop buddy. He's still around. TGI Friday guy, whatever his name
You totally
is.
could. Yes.
Or not.
TGI Friday guy. ABC. Right.
What was the name? What
What was ABC's answer to must see TV? It was
Friday?
Friday Suckfest. It was
No. Oh,
Carl Winslow is who we're exactly who
yeah,
we're
that's
talking
the
about.
actor, but I can't think of the.
Was it just? It was called TGIF. Okay, that's right. It was TGIF.
It was TGIF.
Family Matters was the show.
Right. With the irritating guy.
Yes.
Crevis. Cornelius. What was his name? What was his name?
Did I do that?
Uh,
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Urkel,
Cornelius.
Urkel.
Yes, Cornelius.
It's Urkel. Sorry, Urkel. How could I forget Urkel? Come on.
There are
now.
times that I really just would rather watch the chat room give it to us than
Oh
chime
yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's like a ticker tape parade in there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys know what's up. Anyway, so
TGI Friday, starring Cletus. Already off with a great start for today's show title.
yeah, our show titles are. That's why you got to come here live, everybody. If you're listening to this, going,
Mm-hmm.
man, I never go live. You should come live because, man, that's where the party happens. All right,
Exactly.
let's move on to this weird email we got.
Okay.
Got to read this. This is signed. Well, I'll just read the whole thing as it's given to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Dear Scarf and Brute. I don't know what to make of that, but that's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there a connection between Scarf and Brute? Like it's
Normally you do that, right? Like it's sync.
normally
and-
the S and the B are somehow related.
Yeah.
Scrotum balls, soda and beer.
I'm glad you went right to scrot and balls.
Scrotum balls. Yeah, that's my first thought for S and B.
I can't think of anything else. But yeah, you're right. Like this is out of the pattern. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll write back in. But anyway, he says this. Love the show, blah, blah, blah. Literally is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lapsed flat earther. Oh.
Lapsed. Okay. I mean, reformed,
It
or
sounds
you
like
just you just stopped thinking.
yeah, it doesn't lapse normally mean like you're just not going anymore to the meetings?
You've paused your thinking about the Earth being flat, but
Yeah.
you might come back to it.
I don't know. This is confusing. But he says, I'm a lapsed flat earther, and I can tell you without reservation that there
Better
are.
than a prolapsed flat Earther.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way.
Nobody. No.
You
No,
don't want a
that.
prolapsed flat Earther.
No.
Sorry.
Prolapsed anything you don't want.
Yeah. No.
Says, I can tell you without reservation that there are absolutely true believers out there. I used to be one, and frequented forums and online spaces set up just for them. I attended 3 different meetups near where I live and watched various presentations on how flat Earth theory works and how the man is keeping us from the truth. And that's a quote he put in there. Anyway, you always seem to think there's no way these people exist. Oh, they exist, and I lived it. Not anymore. I got straight. Be best, former flat earther Ethan.
Flat Earther Ethan.
Yeah.
Former Flat Earther Ethan.
I feel like you.
That already is a nice little tongue twister.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Number one, congratulations, and finally, thank you for seeing the light. I'm really curious as to what did it. Like, what proof finally made you
doesn't
say,
say.
"Oh, okay, yeah."
I would love to know that. Like, what was the tipping point for you to get out of there?
Because it feels like if there, it never feels like there's any sort of proof that you can come up with that they don't brush off as fake news. The government controls the maps. The moon landing was fake. It was a picture of the Earth that it was round. I mean, it's like what the chicken nugget. Benjamin says it was the chicken nugget that went.
Oh, it was us, and we did it. It was the chicken
We
nugget.
did it.
Finally, we've saved one. If we've
Yeah,
sent
be
Brian,
curious as to
in
as
10
to what
years,
finally
in
did
10
it.
years, we've saved one soul, and it was worth every minute of the show that we did it.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of people who believe in a lot of things. The way I look at this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and the reason that the flat earther thing is so bothersome to me is because it's so demonstrably false. Like, it's just so easy to say we have every piece of possible evidence. So it just comes down to whether you're ignoring that evidence or not. And it just seemed even crazy to even talk about it. So I always just assume these people are not real. Like, they just are. This is just a hoax, or not a hoax, but like they're all just trolling me. It's kind of like the church or the satanic church thing, where none of them actually worship Satan. It's all just this, like, throw it in the face of organized religion to say, oh, yeah, well, I got my organized religion. You can't stop me. I worship Satan over here, which, you know, I get that. That took me a long time to figure it out, but I now understand what those guys are doing.
Contrarian, just being contrarian as opposed to actually believing in the thing that you're saying.
So my assumption has always been with flat earthers that they're just, you know, haven't taken the piss, as they say in other parts of the world, not here. When we say that here, it means we have to go pee. We have to pee.
Yes.
Or you're a doctor and you said, go give me a urine sample, and now you've taken the piss. You've taken it from him and said, here, thank you.
Piss.
Thank you for the piss.
Which is funny because then when you're pissed, you're drunk.
Oh.
So you can't really say you've taken the drunk.
Yeah, we've taken the drunk, which is what the cops do.
Bobby Frank says the key word is conspiracy theory. You can easily disregard evidence if you think it's part of the conspiracy, which is why I'm surprised that somebody finds the right evidence to be able to come out of that.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Flat Earther Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan, if you're hearing this, I assume you are. Can you give me more? I want more follow up here on what you did or what happened. What was the breaking point where you were like, nah, I'm good. This isn't real. I'm out. You know, like, what got you out of that thinking?
Yeah.
Because that to me is almost more interesting than finding out that a bunch of people buy into it. I'm more interested in how you got out of there. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
What a weird freaking
Very
thing.
interesting.
Weird freaking thing. Okay, look at this. I got something cool to show you. Hold on.
Okay.
Gotta grab it. Okay, here it is. I got this. There's stuff on top of it. Let me move that off. All right, so I got a letter in the mail, or a box in the mail, with a letter attached that said Scott on it. I opened it up and I read it and I went, oh, this is my old pal Mark Spagnolo. He lives near Brian Ibbett there in Colorado.
It was it looked like it was written with a very strong tattooed arm.
Oh yeah, a very Italian sort of sounding text.
Right. Very rugged, stubble-faced.
And I've always felt a kinship to him just because we both have terrible handwriting, and his handwriting is bad, and so is mine. So, you know, brothers from other mothers. But anyway, Mark Spag has the Wood Whisperer. If you don't know him by that name, you need to check out his YouTube channel. Has some of the best woodworking stuff ever, and I love having such talented friends. But anyway, out of the blue, I guess he made a handful of these for building a template so people can get the template and make their own. But they wanted to make some examples of it, and because I host a D&D show every week, and because Steven Schleicher does the same, he made 2 extras, or part of the 3 sets he made. He kept the one. He made dice towers. Now, what's cool about these dice towers is when they're packed up and ready to go, they're just sort of in this little format here. just like a nice storageable, whatever.
Right.
By the way, it smells.
I'll bet it smells amazing.
Oh, Brian.
Look at those chamfered edges.
Sorry, Gwyneth Paltrow's candle. I've got a new friend here on this one.
it's Mark Spagnolo's box.
Yeah, I'm that's good stuff. All right, anyway, so you take it, and then now you got this little slant, and you put this in the back, all right? Slots right in there. And then you toss, I didn't bring any dice to do this, but you toss your dice into here, and cling, ling, 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 and it tosses it out into this nice velvety receptacle
Look
down
at that.
there.
Let's see the, can you show us the inside of the box, like down the chute? I want to see
Yeah, so...
I
let's
want to
if I
see
can do it.
the wiggly waggly that the dice have to travel down.
So
nice.
it's not
So
it's pretty,
slope and then another slope on the
another
other side.
slope.
Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty basic,
Yep.
pretty geometric, but enough to sort of shake your dice up. And Carter and I took her dice and did a bunch of rolls just to sort of test it, and it was great, and it's awesome, and I love it.
Did you? Yeah, you had to do like 1,000 rolls to make sure it was really random.
Oh,
Otherwise,
yeah.
send it back.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I mean, it's like people with their kids. It's like, oh, we had 5 boys. We were never meant to have girls. No, you just rolled really girly for those 5 times, right? Eventually, you'd have had boys. Eventually, you'd have had 100. You'd have had across the board equal amounts of boys and girls. But it might have taken 100 times. So what Brian said is true. Anyway, this is rad, and I love it. And he's got this great logo on the back.
By the way, not true. You could roll. You could get out your 20-sided die, roll it 25 times in a row, and it does not decrease the chances that your next roll is going to be a 20. It's still a 1 in 20 chance.
Right. And if you do it enough times, what's the deal? There's a deal with that where if you roll it enough times,
The law of averages says that you should end up with 50-50 or an even number across the board. But
right.
But there's a phrase that says prior results don't determine causality. No, what is it? There's a
Yeah, how does that go? I know that too.
what is the phrase? It's like because everyone when they talk about craps or roulette and they say, well, you just find a roulette table
Yeah.
where like they show you the previous results, and if they're all red, you run up there and you bet black. It's like nope,
No.
doesn't. There it is. Correlation does not imply causality. That's
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah, the causality correlation.
Past
thing.
performance. No, that's the one I was thinking. Past performance does not determine future results. I was actually conflating the two. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
Conflation does not equal inflation.
The gloves don't fit. You must acquit.
There you go. So that's a thing, and I love it, and I'm really glad that he was so nice to think of me. I just really, really love it. And man, you can always tell when someone's good at a thing. It's just such a fit and finish to this.
Yeah.
It makes me wish I knew things.
Smooth and convincing, like a
Very
dice tower.
smooth. But smooth and convincing, you're right. All right. Well, we've done that. We've been there. And now, Brian, is time for this. It's time for us to do the news, and it's brought to you by
Fred and Can out yesterday. Which means it's also out today.
Yeah.
Get your weekly comic fix about a guy and his can of expired cream corn at fredandcan.com.
That's right. Halloween's coming, and there's a tendency for me
how
to...
does Can feel about candy corn?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Because it's all in his name, right?
Mhm.
Corn and Can.
Mhm.
Can D Corn. Maybe he's a relative whose name is Can D Corn.
You may have just written next week's comic. I'll just write this down and go draw it. I'll be good. I'm all set.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent.
Let's get to the news here. We got a naked teen to start things off.
Oh, jeez.
It just has the wrong connotation if you don't
Are
give
they
some
in your
context.
area?
Naked teens in your area.
Want to meet you?
Yeah, that's right. 1-900. Don't call that number. All right. Naked teen covered in ranch dressing crashes a Kansas gas station, according to a sheriff. This is no good. Seems like a weird thing to do to yourself. Cover yourself in ranch and then
Crashes at. Like he just slept?
Oh,
Like, I'm going to crash here.
that's a really
Right
good
next
point.
to the unleaded.
I read that headline and thought car crash, but
I think it is. I think it is car crash, but it's not a well. Crashes into Kansas gas station would be better.
yeah, crashes at Kansas gas station
Right.
sounds like, hey, I'm
crashes
just gonna
at
crash here,
apartment
man.
owners.
I'm just gonna
crashes
crash here
on.
this night tonight and just get some, Doritos and whatever. I'm just gonna crash.
Naked teen covered in ranch dressing crashes at friend's house.
There you go. There you go. Had the munchies. Had to crash. All right. It says here he was naked and covered in ranch dressing, crashed his vehicle at a Kansas gas station early Saturday morning. The disturbance was reported at 3:30 a.m. to 911 at the Petro Deli convenience store. Well, I'm sure that food's good.
Is that somewhere in the Hidden Valley?
I see what you did there with the ranch reference.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was good. It says the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, 17-year-old male was naked and under the influence of a substance. Boy, you think?
Maybe the better joke is, did he also have it in his Hidden Valley?
Oh, bing bong. That's pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
My love of ranch is strong. It goes strong and deep, but thinking about someone
But
being...
not quite this deep.
No.
You think there's any substance you could take, bath salts, meth, heroin, that would make you say, you know what? I love ranch so much. I'm going to take my clothes off and cover myself in it.
Maybe. Like spice is supposed to do that to you.
And then I'm gonna head down to the old loaf and jug for a bottle of Monster Energy.
Yeah, that's what kids are up to these days, you know.
Right, the Monster Energy.
Yeah, they like that Monster. That's the takeaway. The big takeaway is definitely the Monster. Let's see. It says it covered himself in ranch dressing, damaging property inside the business, ran outside and jumped into a running vehicle, and then crashed into a nearby pillar. Hopefully not of the community, but like a actual physical pillar. Not some guy who's like giving a lot back to the town. You know what I mean?
Right.
Says deputies took the boy into custody. He was then taken to a local hospital and later released to his parents. The criminal aspects of this incident are still under investigation. The office of the sheriff said, "We are happy to report that no one was injured during this incident."
Wow.
I say, will no one think of the amount of ranch that was wasted in this process? Because I love me some ranch.
I'm just visualizing the parents coming to pick up their son who got naked, covered himself with ranch dressing,
Yep.
and destroyed the inside of a gas station and then ran into a pillar outside.
Yeah. It does make you...
And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for these damn slippery hands. Ranch, why must you be so slippery?
And tasty. Oh, is it weird that a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos sounds good right this second? Is that bad?
No, it's not weird at all.
That's
not
bad,
weird at
though.
all.
I shouldn't have that. That's bad.
Well, I mean, as long as you know it's bad and then eat it, then it's fine.
Okay.
It's being aware. Yeah, it's the first step. The 12-step program is knowing it's bad and doing it anyway.
Rainbow Bright says, yuck. Are we not a fan, Rainbow Bright, of the Cool Ranch? Because those are my favorites. Those are the jam.
How'd you feel about the Cool Ranch Dorito Taco Locos or whatever they were called at Taco Bell?
I don't know that I ever had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is that the one that came with like the blue Mountain Dew and all that? It was like a whole combo, right? Or
no, you could just get the tacos on their own. They had the spicy. What was the spicy one? Doritos that they had. Was it a Doritos Fire Taco Loco?
Oh, probably. They have fire Doritos.
And then a Cool Ranch Doritos Taco.
All right. Yeah, I would eat either of those if they were in front of me. I just never did. I noticed yesterday my DoorDash app was going crazy to tell me that Taco Bell is now on DoorDash. They were
ooh.
Yeah, they were stoked about it, dude. I was getting texts every 10 minutes going, "Good news. You can finally get your bibbidi because Taco Bell's on the app." Like, all right.
So just in case one of your tacos does make it out of the store alive, DoorDash will be there to make sure that it's broken in half by the time it gets to you.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's like a Fabergé egg.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know that I'm glad you brought that up. There's this thing where they say if you give a toddler, like a sub 2-year-old toddler, an egg, a raw egg, that they'll be really careful with it. Like
gotcha. Like an egg, not a. You didn't pour raw egg into their hands.
Oh, right.
Like an actual, yes. Uh-huh.
Right. I should have said that. In the shell, the egg, the dainty, careful sort of, don't break it egg.
Like it's inherent, like it's a instinct for them that they
Yeah, it's supposed to be just built in that they'll just care for it.
Really? I saw a dog that, like they were giving this dog a shelled egg, and it just carried it, ever so gently in its mouth and walked around the house with it.
Yeah.
Like it knew that was fragile.
So maybe similar instinct, but we
Yeah.
tried it with Van. We gave him an egg.
Mm-hmm. Did
Because
you just
normally-
outside?
We did. And normally when you give that kid,
Did Kim give it to him, and it was the last egg in the house? And you're like, Kim.
I thought that I was gonna eat that egg. I says to her. No, it was at Taylor's house, and I think it was. Maybe we were out in the backyard. I don't remember, but we wanted to test it because we saw a lot of TikTok videos where people were pulling this off. The kid was just very dainty with it, and otherwise you give them a ball or whatever, and they just chuck it, or
Right,
they just seem to know it.
bounces or rolls or whatever. Sure.
So he did this thing where he did kind of walk around with it very carefully and looked at it and was very soft with it. And then I can't remember what happened. Kim walked out with a treat or something, and he just arm slacked to his side and just threw the egg on the ground. Just
Then he yeeted it at the Tesla across the
Yep.
street.
Yeet. Yeet. That yeet thing is a popular meme, isn't it?
It is, now that I understand it. I just
Yeah.
feel like I want to use it all the time. It's like one of those word a day calendars.
Yep.
I'm going to use it 5 times, and then it becomes part of my normal vocabulary.
100% would have been a thing. Like if I was a kid in junior high or high school, I would be using the yeet thing all the time. All the time. I would have bought into that like it was freaking free arcade time at the arcade, which makes no sense. I don't know why I said that.
Right.
Moving on to this story about trash bags. This is no good because they were filled with mail. So check this out. Trash bags of mail found outside Pennsylvania postal worker's home. His name was Newman. Just kidding, not really. It says trash bags of undelivered mail were discovered, and these were just full of them, discovered at the curb outside of the home of a postal employee in Pennsylvania. Special agents with the U.S. Postal Service Office and of Inspector General responded to a report about undelivered mail on Sunday and discovered trash bags full of the stuff placed near the street for pickup outside the employee's home in Baldwin, a small suburb of Pittsburgh. This is in Pittsburgh. Agency said in a statement that the employee works at the post office in the small town of Mount Oliver. I don't know if any of our listeners live anywhere near there. Their name was not released, but the worker is currently on a non-duty and non-pay status. Non-duty.
Yeah, so not fired, surprisingly, but just on leave, on unpaid leave.
Unpaid leave. You should just fire him for this. Just straight up fire him. What are we doing?
Fired and I don't know, probably jail time.
Yeah. Maybe they've heard the stories about going postal and they don't want that to happen. Maybe they want to just slowly ease him into. I don't know. Put him in jail. Actually, this is all the federal crimes.
Yeah, it's got to be a felony. Felony.
Yeah, it's a fennel. It's fennel.
It's a
fennel
fennelly.
cake. Funnel cake.
It's got to be
Fennelly cake.
fennelly cake.
It's let's see. They recovered several different cases of mail, including business mail, flats, and small amounts of first class mail. We expect to perform a piece count of the mail today and make arrangements to have the mail delivered to the customers as soon as feasible. Balfour said the case will be presented to federal prosecution in the U.S. Attorney's Office following the investigation. The special agent told the network that there are more than 630,000 Postal Service employees, and the majority are hardworking, trustworthy individuals. Well, I agree.
For sure.
We have a couple of listeners who are mail carriers, and they're
We do.
extremely awesome.
I love my mail carrier, and we used to have a friend lived across the street who was a mail carrier, listened to every episode of Coverville and probably some TMS on his route,
That's awesome.
and always wore shorts. December,
Really?
January, always wore shorts. Not just on his job, but just always came out of his house, hey, Brian, and he was wearing shorts.
In Rocky Mountain winter, dude in his shorts. That's fantastic.
Dude in his shorts. Long sleeves, jacket, whatever, pair of shorts.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Hats off to that dude. Anyway, incidents of this nation are extremely rare when they put into context that the second incident of mail dumping reported in recent weeks. That doesn't sound that rare.
Right.
It says a postal service carrier in New
Maybe
Jersey.
629,999 postal service employees that are hardworking.
Yeah, hardworking, except for these two. So they got this carrier in New Jersey who was arrested last week for allegedly discarding mail, including 99 general election ballots. That's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah.
We already have enough worry about that. Don't do that. I think I'm doing it by mail this time for the first time. So we get.
Oh, you're not? I thought you were going to go in.
Well, I was, but it's a long story. But basically, so for a little background here. So Utah is one of a handful of states that for a decade or more, or I don't know how long we've had it, 15 years, whatever it is, we have mail-in voting. And it works. It's fine. It's always worked. It's been great. And what they do is they send you your ballot in the mail. It's all very official. You have to fill it out and have it postmarked by a certain date. Super simple, done. But I always just liked the tradition of going in there. I just like
absolutely
getting in the line and seeing people, all the volunteers over there just hurriedly writing shit down and everybody just kind of getting their job done. And I don't know, there's something about that
and
process.
Actually, pushing the buttons. When I did it, it wasn't a lever. It was actually a digital screen.
Yeah, same.
It was like a big, almost like an iPad, big iPad with a curtain around it.
Yeah.
Or not even a curtain. Like I was in a box, in a half-open box, sticking my head in, pushing buttons on the screen.
Yeah, and there's something to that, right? There's something about that process.
Sure.
So I was thinking, well, Kim and Carter went ahead and cast their. I said went ahead twice for some reason. Went ahead and cast their ballots. That's 3. Already through the mail, and I didn't. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it like I always do. I'll just go in. But then I thought, it's a freaking COVID year, and I live in a state where this is a tightly controlled, effective way to vote, and it's all done. It's lawful. I should just. Why am I doing that? Like a different year, maybe next year, fine, whatever. But like every other, I've never done anything via not going. I always go in, is what I'm saying. Since I've been 18, I go and I vote in the place because there's something I like about that. In this case, I think I'm just going to do the mail-in and be done. And I don't have to have it postmarked till the 2nd or something, so I could do it like today.
Do a combo. Like fill out the ballot at home, but take it to a box where you're actually putting it in the box as opposed to mailing it. And then you get that feeling of like, I'm opening the box, I'm putting my ballot in there, it is official and counted, as opposed to, all right, leaving it in the mailbox with the flag up. Hoping it makes it.
Yep. Hope we don't get like that Jersey guy.
Right. Or was it? I guess it was California. Somebody threw a match into a ballot box and burned up all the ballots in there.
Oh, geez. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
That's not good at all. Don't do that.
Don't do that. But yeah, there's a point just made here by Shave Maddox who says, I've broken a streak. You're right. This would be a streak break.
Look at you. Yeah.
I hadn't really thought of it, but I have a voting streak, which is every election I vote in person.
Shane, what are you doing? You know that's his Achilles heel. He can't break streaks.
I don't like my streaks getting broken. So,
No, jeez.
I would rather break all my streaks in one shot. Get really drunk, never drink, so get really drunk, throw up.
Gamble. So what we need to do is we need to go to Nevada. We need to drink, gamble, and vote. So it needs to all happen at the same time.
Well, I've gambled before, so I don't have a streak there.
Okay. I thought you had
No, just minor gamble, like, nothing big. I think the most thing I ever did was like
you got to put a $5 bill into a Lord of the Rings slot machine and
I've done
pull
that.
the handle.
I've done that. And I've done like what do you call the one where the wheel spins?
Roulette.
Roulette. I did roulette once.
I call it the sucker table is what I call it.
Oh, really? Great. I chose the right one then.
It's like some of the worst odds in the casino.
So yeah, I don't really have a thing with that. But my thing with I don't want to barf.
Right. Well, we get you drunk enough, you will.
Yeah, drink.
Just don't barf into the ballot box.
Drink, barf, vote by mail. Those are the 3.
Vote by mail. Yeah.
All right, I'm set. I know what my weekend's going to be like. All right, we're going to take a break. No, we're not. We're going to read this last story. We're going to read this.
Good, because now I have time to pull up information about the
I thought it was
the song.
I was for some reason I'm missing about 5 minutes of my time, but I think we're good. All right, so an escaped cow. This is great. An escaped cow was found finally because who doesn't want their cow found? I would. It was trapped on a neighbor's trampoline. Oh no. What do you do when there's a cow on your trampoline, I suppose?
What do you do? What do you do,
What do
Hotshot?
you do? One of about 40 cows that escaped from a farm in Victoria, Australia, was found less than a mile away after wandering into a resident's trampoline and becoming stuck. You're probably just going to have some fun, jump, flip, do a flip. What was the one you did on your bum? There was a word for it. Do you remember this? Did you ever tramp growing up or no?
I didn't, but I knew people who did, and it's like you jump and then flip your legs on front, bounce on your butt, and then bounce and then land back on your feet.
That had a name.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Rocketing?
Rocketing? Boy, a lot of people said rocketing, so.
I can't remember. I just remember I loved my tramp so much that I remember I had appendicitis. I had to take my appendix out when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so anxious to jump again that I went out there way too early. Like my stuff hadn't healed. This is before they did laparoscopic, through your belly button business. This was like cut you open business. Oh. And it hurt. It hurt so bad, Brian. I just don't remember the day where I did my first jump and then I just laid there going, "They're gonna take me back in, aren't they? I'm gonna die here." Oh. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, so these cows. One of them got stuck. Kay Liang, South Gippsland, said she spotted the cow on a trampoline outside her home Wednesday night and discovered the bovine was unable to stand up on the bouncy surface. She says the neighbor used a tractor to carefully lift the animal off the trampoline and contacted the cow's owner. This is so Australian. I love it. Freaking love it. I don't know how long it took them to get them off. How long it took to get them off, but we were back to bed by 3:30 a.m. Get them off. It's just one cow. Right?
Get the four legs off, I guess. The udder and the.
I see. They're going by parts.
I don't. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
The shoulder. The. All the beef cuts. Anyway, the animal's owner said about 40 cows had escaped earlier that evening, and the majority had been rounded up before the trampoline discovery. So there's your cow news for the week.
Nice.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Justin Robert Young will be here. I got questions about Zoom Wiener. I got questions about upcoming debate. And I got questions about Hunter Biden's. No, I don't really want to talk about it because it sounds like bullshit. But we're going to talk about all that stuff or whatever he's in the mood for when he comes on in a minute. Before that, though, a song break with Brian Ibbett.
Once upon a time, in the land of Titania, there lived two princesses who loved to play together in the Black Forest. One day, while walking through the woods, they came across a most mysterious sight.
Better work, bitch.
The Morning Stream. I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
And we're back, everybody. Oh, Todd.
Better work,
We're
bitch.
back.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
I love these Todd Cochran drops. They're the best.
Yeah, we got Jamie did some work and went and dug a bunch of stuff out of the Podcast Awards presentation.
So good.
And
did I mention to you that he talked about the awards we were at in Vegas, where in that conference room in the Rio, where he fat fingered the PowerPoint presentation and kept showing the winner before he was done reading the nominees.
Oh, did he bring that up?
He did. He brought that up.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah,
I'm learning how to use PowerPoint so I can do better than the time I was at the Rio in Las Vegas, and I kept showing the winner.
So good. He kept doing it. It was like 4 or 5 times.
That's so true. Yes.
I understand, once, maybe twice, if you're not really unlucky, but 3-4 times, you got to change your method. You got to go.
Yes, exactly. Way. Maybe have somebody else operate the machinery.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. All right, we're going to call Justin Robert Young, do the Tuesday thing, talk to him about what's going on in the world of the politicking and whatnot. I'll play this first.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
And then I'll play this. I'm going to play that since 2018 because we That's the last time I played that. I think.
Is that short enough that we won't get YouTubed?
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. We should be fine. Hey, look who it is, everybody! It's Justin Robert Young joining us from Oakland, California. He is, I don't know, the man about town when it comes to this time of year, this time of the cycle. We got like, I don't know how many days. What do we got? Like 12 days?
14 days.
14 days from today.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only assume you are gonna. I mean, you are locked in for election night. You're going to be walking around, mic in hand, dressed up like you do, freaking all guns firing, right? Like that's Justin Robert Young at his finest that night. It's going to be great.
Yeah. No, hopefully.
Yeah.
We want to be the number one place where people want to spend their time. Obviously, the pressure is building and the noise is only getting louder. So, if you want somebody that I like to think of me as like your really, really, really calm friend when you decide to try acid and it's not going well, but you're glad I'm here.
Yeah. All right. That's a great way to look at it. So a couple things. I want to talk about like the future of the debates, which I guess there will be at least one more, right? Or is there more than
one? There's going to be one on Thursday.
More.
Yeah, officially now it survived the debate commission changing the rules.
Which I thought as soon as they announced that, Trump was going to say, "That's it, I'm out."
Yeah.
Doing it.
If he was going to do it, it would have happened before that because they knew they were in negotiations with them before that. So the Trump move would have been to pull out before the debate commission said anything.
Gotcha.
So they could own it. But they didn't. And then Bill Stepien and Donald Trump came out and said that they were going to do it. They didn't like it. But to be honest, I think it probably will help Trump because I think that his worst parts were when he was like really, really, really over aggressive. If he was less of a tidal wave and more of a counter puncher, I think the laugh lines would probably stick out a little bit more than just the constant noise.
I didn't think of it that way. That's true. Like he'll be basically they both get cordoned off now and can't really interrupt each other. Although the rules state they don't say as soon as they're done, mics are muted and the other guy talks. It's more
no. Yeah. So here's the exact rule.
Okay.
You will be able to speak for 2 minutes when the moderator asks you the initial question uninterrupted.
Okay.
So when they're like, Biden, America very much cares about doing a backflip or a front flip into a pool. What do you think? Is a backflip too dangerous? And he's like, well, I'm glad you asked that. When I was vice president, Barry told me, and then he just goes on. And then normally it's like when they're like, excuse me, sir, that's your time. And he's like, keeps talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the question is, will they unmute the mic? Will they unmute the mic after 2 minutes or after they're done talking?
Oh,
right.
Wow. So
right. So unmute your opponent's mic when the 2 minutes is up. They almost should mute your mic when your 2 minutes is up, and then.
See, that's my take, but
no, I mean,
they're
like,
not
you
gonna
can't overdo it. Again,
Right.
no one's there for the refs.
Right.
Like no one's
that's
there.
True. That's true.
Like they want to hear these people talk to each other. The hope is that they're more civil. I don't know if there's any way to legislate that, but they apparently the debate commission, I guess, got so much heat from the Biden team after the first debate that they had to do something.
Yeah, my belief is that if you here's what I want them to do, and they're not going to do this, but I want them to cut the camera to either one who does this. If they're in there barking, well, see, it's not like they're in separate little containers, right? They're
on the same stage.
Yeah.
So by the way, if Joe Biden's talking about backflips into a pool and Trump just yells, "Your son passed the smoke," like you're gonna be able to hear it on his mic. It's not like they're in different like pods.
The irony is that you got cut off there.
Yeah, that is funny. You get sometimes Discord cuts people when they go loud, but I get your point. Like he could be yelling
Oh, he was Trump yelling, "Your son passed out smoking crack."
Oh, that's
so.
that's
Apparently,
better.
apparently, the Discord was more judicious about the mic button, the mute button, than the debate commission.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But that's a really good point. Like, it's not like they're in hermetically sealed cubes. They're going to be out in the sort of open where they both are seeing each other, and he's going to hear
and their
anything.
mics will pick each other up. Yeah,
right. And
exactly.
even if it's not the mics, it's Biden will at the very least be able to hear Trump going, "Not true," not blah, 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 or whatever, and vice versa. So now I'm starting to feel like this is just a futile attempt to do anything. Like, why don't they just?
Well,
could Trump bring his own Mr. Microphone and have an FM radio that he can broadcast?
Yeah. Yes.
He'll just put a little boombox next to Biden, and he'll never notice.
Hey, everybody, I'm over here now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this will be a more calm debate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think it benefits everybody for it to be slightly less of a twisted metal train wreck. And Trump has had, up until this last week, more time to figure out exactly what he wanted to do. He had a lot of time to sit and think with the Rona, and now I think he's very much dialed in. There's nothing else that he's focusing on beyond this election, and this is going to be the biggest part of it for him. So I think we will get a more calm version. But that being said, I think that the debate commission has been awful. I really think that it's their job to just set the rules and then let it go. If these things are not palatable, then let these campaigns fight with each other. Let them set the parameters of where they're going to go from here. If we can't trust them to work with another American presidential campaign on debate parameters, what does that say about their ability to negotiate on the world stage?
Right.
Right.
And we still say we're at this point where, like it's there's a temptation in me to say to you, so what does each side need to do Thursday to really burp? But aren't we done? We're decided. Everyone's decided.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, this is going to be theater, great theater, especially if you watch it over at the Justin R. Young Twitch page. It's going to be great, but on that level, but it's not. This again, no informative anything's going to happen, really. Not really, right? And let me ask you this: How do you think Trump's going to bring up a ton of this Hunter Biden stuff?
Hunter Biden will be brought up.
Okay.
I mean, Hunter Biden was brought up in the first debate before there was a hard drive of pictures with him snorting things off hookers' butts. Like, there's absolutely Hunter Biden is going to be brought up. How will Joe respond to it? I would imagine that he has to have a pre-written line to own that. There was positive feedback on how Biden handled it last time, where he just talked about the pain of having an addict, or his son become an addict. So we'll see, but I would caution a little bit away from the idea that everyone's decided.
Yeah.
Everyone online is decided.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't on Twitter, and there's a lot of people that aren't interconnected to a lot of stuff, that don't think about politics all that much. Now, whether or not they are truly undecided, like we often imagine undecided voters as these smooth, hairless creatures that are so swayable from one side to the other, and like, oh, I don't know, maybe Biden, maybe Trump, I have no social or moral compass, I don't know, whoever has the shiniest commercial. But I think more realistically, this is about people who tend to lean one side or another deciding to stay home or go vote. That's the big key. The big key is there somebody that voted for Trump last time that watches him on Thursday and says, this guy?
Yeah.
Or are there somebody who voted for Obama and Hillary that looks at Biden and is like, this guy has pudding for brains. No thanks. Like,
right.
Does that happen? I think that's really more of the effect of a debate like this, not anything that we see online, but inside the minds of non-media bubble voters who are inclined to go one way or another and decide either to do that or to not vote.
So, okay, interesting. And then on the Hunter stuff, like if it were me, if Joe Biden's listening to TMS like he used to, I don't know if he's got time now, but if you're listening, Joe Biden, here's what I'd do. The right way, if it were me, or the right way to handle this would be, is not to go, you know, there's going to be a tendency or there's going to be a desire to go, yeah, come on, man. There's going to be a desire for him to say, you know, like, well, what about your kids? And I don't mean that exact words, but you could easily be tempted to go, well, Don, we know Don Jr.'s snorting coke off of something. We just don't have the pictures yet. Like there's probably a temptation. I think you should lean into the whole, like,
it's amazing you found the time to dig up those photos hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein as much as you were.
Yeah, like that's a temptation on anybody's plate. But if it were me, I would really lean into the whole, like, yeah, it's really hard having a son who's had to deal with these problems, having lost my other son to cancer. Like, really go down to those levels so that Trump just looks like the biggest possible dick for bringing it up. I don't know how else you do it. Otherwise, that whole thing's a circus.
You turn it around and say that, and you know, and if we had the kind of healthcare that I propose, then you know, people like Hunter would be able to get help a lot easier than they would have if you.
I mean, it's not like Hunter was you know, in Section 8 housing.
Right, yes.
No, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. But, you know, the stigmatization, there we go, of addiction, I don't know. I think that could go, that could really backfire for Trump if he goes all in guns blazing. But,
well, I mean, the more, what Trump will go for more is, like, Hunter was always a damaging possibility for the Biden campaign for two reasons. Number one, the salacious stuff is hard to look away from.
Right.
If your neighbor if all of a sudden on Nextdoor, a bunch of pictures came out of your neighbor doing the things that Hunter Biden was doing, you would have a hard time not looking at them.
Right.
So I understand that we are in a very politically balkanized moment, but let's understand that anybody with those kind of pictures that are out there, you're going to, like, humanity dictates that you're going to want to look at them. But the secondary part of it, and this is what Trump, if he's smart, will hit on, is more that this is just the regular kind of graft that happens in Washington. That, of course, his son gets jobs with credit card companies and gets jobs with Chinese companies and gets jobs with Ukrainian gas companies. And of course, it's going to be hard to prove exactly what the influence is. But why on earth would he be getting these jobs when he is living this kind of lifestyle and has no experience? And this is something that Trump can use in his populist rhetoric to be like, come on, what do you guys think? America, why do you think he had these jobs? If Trump stays with the idea of corruption and lets the sensational elements be more of the backstory, then he's going to use it more effectively. If this does become, hey, your son smokes crack rock, then I agree with you. It's going to be more of a trigger of pain, of addiction and loss that does happen in this country, and it'll backfire.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Well, it's going to be hairy, man. Like, I feel like the next 14 days are going to be something. So I've had a pretty good experience over the last, I don't know, about a month or so is when I basically did all my Twitter mute words, and I unfollowed a bunch of stuff and kind of just got into a better place in general where I'm just looking at numbers and I'm looking at, you know.
Do you still have the account?
Oh, the account's there. Scott? The account's there. I just don't use it right now.
So if I went and looked, I wouldn't see a tweet in the last, week?
You might see one or two, but you're not going to see what you used to see there. Like, okay. I found once in a while I'll find like an interesting quote or something, and I'll say, oh, this is interesting or whatever. But it's not like I'm going, wow, I bet if you dug up Don Jr.'s photo, you'd find a picture of him with a pipe up his ass or whatever. I'm not I'm not going that far anymore.
Yeah.
So I've tried really hard and I feel pretty good about it. But once in a while, something will slip through. It's just like I'll hear something get said or something really frustrating like, oh, our awesome new healthcare plan's all ready to show, which was supposed to be July, which was supposed to be April, which was supposed to be all the other times. And I just know it's not actually going to happen. And those things fire me up and get me really irritated. And then I got to kind of pull back a little bit. So I feel like I've done all right by myself, but I also know that in the next 14 days, all of that stuff's going to get ramped up to 11. And I guess what I'm saying to people is, regardless of where you're at politically or where you're at with any of this, just take care of yourself during this. Don't let it ruin your day. Because there are definitely days where you could probably let your day get ruined if you went down too many of these holes. And I didn't even know these Hunter Biden photos were out. I just knew there was some talk of a laptop that he took somewhere and left it somewhere, and then there were some pictures in there, and then that's all I know. Like I've stayed enough away from that stuff where I really don't know what's happening with that.
There's pictures that are like on. I mean, the New York Post. So categorize the New York Post as wherever degree of reputable newspaper that you want, but it is a newspaper with a website. And then there's others that are just like kind of floating around the dark web, and oh boy.
Yeah, See, I haven't seen any of them. Probably will not seek them out. Not because I'm trying to be ignorant about it, it's because I'm trying to not get fired up. I'm just trying to get away from the everything sucks brain space and get back to, acknowledging that A, that isn't true, and B, I can be a force for positivity and not necessarily help with the negativity. So anyway, there's Scott's little side story for the week.
Well done.
Hope
Nicely
everyone
done,
enjoyed
sir.
that.
Can we talk about what everybody wants us to talk about?
Yeah. What? Oh, the wiener, dick wiener. Sorry.
Zoom meeting, dude.
Yeah, Zoom penis. Let's talk about that guy. So Toobin is his name, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a great arcade game.
So Jeffrey Toobin,
Yeah.
famed legal author.
Yeah.
In fact, you remember the FX series, The People versus O.J. Simpson,
Yeah.
based off his book of the
Oh,
same
was
name.
it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was really how he became famous was by covering the O.J. Simpson case, and he wrote kind of the definitive book about it. And now is the chief legal analyst for CNN. He is a columnist for the New Yorker magazine, or at least is in suspension right now
Right.
because during a planning meeting with the New Yorker and WNYC, where I guess they were gaming out how the election might go, Jeffrey Toobin was not part of one of the two. There was like a bunch of Democrats and a bunch of Republicans, and they were kind of splitting off into their own Zoom rooms to do a breakout session. He apparently was not part of it. He decided that he would glance upon another monitor, which, boy, did he find transfixing. So much so that he loosed himself. He notched his arrow and was ready to fire before realizing that his camera was still on. He closed the laptop and then tried to show back up as if nothing was the problem, thinking that nobody had seen him.
Yeah.
But boy, did they. And now he is suspended from both those outlets.
So, okay, my big complaint about all of this, I have two major questions, but the biggest complaint I have is he calls it, and everyone keeps repeating it, but he called it a mistake. Now, my definition of mistake is tripping on a shoe I forgot I left out the night before.
Yeah.
Or I forgot
Right.
I put my password in, but I was one character off. That's
Sure,
These
yeah.
are mistakes. Okay, we all make them. Mistakes. Pulling out your dingus in the middle of a Zoom meeting, or what you thought was, maybe you thought your camera was off or the thing was on or whatever. That's not a mistake. That's you meant to do. You meant to pull out your ding ding, and you just happen to get caught doing it. There's no mistake, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I know this is semantics and whatever, but I can't stand the word
problem-
mistake here.
And the focus of the problem being that I didn't realize my camera was on. Sorry about that. It's, well, why are you doing that during a election planning meeting or an election mock-up meeting?
Yeah, like a coverage meeting or whatever the heck they
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. In an era where we've never been more we've never been given more of an ability to jack it during daytime hours. You know, in an
Right,
era of
exactly.
work from home, you've got more time than you've ever had in your entire life. Lunch breaks, you know, like
Right.
what would
There's a
otherwise
time
be
and-
your commute.
Yeah.
There's a
Uh,
time and place for that. For me, it's 11:05 in the hall closet, but there's a time and place
Sure.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, exactly. And now you've got so many more opportunities than you did in the past when you had to put on a suit and tie and get to the office and get on the subway. And, you know, you can't just jack it in the middle of a subway in Midtown, you know, but if you're in your own kitchen, then have at it. Just make sure that you aim low. But not Tubin. No, some men need to have it all. And he apparently was so bored by this election planning meeting that he decided to just give it an old crankaroo.
I would, if I were him, just own it. Like you're either way, you're getting, you know, you're probably going to get fired, and CNN's not going to have you on, and all the stuff like that's going to happen. But either way, but just say, well, you know, I screwed up. Like, just don't call it a mistake as if there was some error that happened. It's not an error. You pulled out your ween.
Yeah, I think this needs to be said in unequivocal terms. The problem here is he was jerking off at work.
Right, exactly.
Like, all right, here's the problem. The problem is you were jerking off at work, right? Even in a world in which you were on the clock and you weren't on a Zoom meeting, probably at least ethically frowned upon to, you know, flog the bishop when there's something that's
When you're on the
owed to your
clock.
boss, right? Like, you know, when you've
Being
got to
on the
go and
clock
get
is
something
not
done.
the time to be on. Never mind.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So ethically dubious. It is incredibly disrespectful when you're doing it with other people's time, right? It is just such a brash asshole New York power player move, and I am like, I don't want to be in a world in which, you know, having read So You've Been Publicly Shamed, we all understand that like there is a disproportionate element of the pile-on that happens when these things are very online.
Yeah.
But I will say this, in general, I have very, very, very little tolerance for, and I'll gender it, mostly dudes who tend to feel that their base urges trump the idea of a common workplace.
Yeah.
I'm very much in for a substantive and productive workplace where everybody can get done with their stuff as fast as possible, mostly so they can go home and jack it.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
I think I agree. So, that dude is in for some. I mean, you know, whatever. He'll get dunked on eternally, and I don't know how you ever come back from that. But
Yeah.
like, what does he do
should have
now?
He said, "Oh, sorry. I thought I was on Skype."
Yeah. I mean, but also I'll say this, like this isn't to defend him in any way, but in the world of everyone's using Zoom or some form of telecommunication right now, it's a little shocking more stories like this haven't happened. Like it's to me, the percentages should be higher of, oh, did you hear? They got back together.
I feel like it just feels like such an obvious thing. I'm in a Zoom call, therefore I have a camera on me.
Oh, I agree.
I
agree. Like never ever, right? But
Right,
my point
exactly,
is
but
like
still,
there's
yeah.
still, it seems like there's enough of this going on that there's going to be some other flubbers out there who just screw up, whatever it may be. Like, and I'm sure there are others I just haven't heard of, but yeah, we live in that time now. You know, it's no longer, oh, Bill did something weird at his cubicle. It's Bill did something weird on camera. And
Man, the Bills are going wild. The Bills are going wild these days. That's why we had to get rid of ours on Tuesday.
That's right.
Just in case he went weird.
yeah, we don't want him, you know, we don't want him smithing his foam on the air. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Look,
I'm just sanding some resin.
there's really just one thing that you can do, and this is a hot tip for anybody who is worried about accidentally jacking off on camera. don't jack off at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a great way
What
of
if you work
of
from
looking
home
at this.
though?
Yeah. What if the office is virtual, Justin, and you work from home?
Yeah. All right.
Right,
So
yeah.
ask yourself a very, very quick test.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Am I at work? Technically.
Exactly. Is this billable time?
Yes. If yes, hands off your ween. If no, well, let's go.
Oh, good. I like it when there's a rhyme involved. It makes it a lot easier to remember.
yeah.
I do too. I'm a big fan of the rhyme. All right. Well, that you can get that and all sorts of other great stuff from Justin, including the season finale of season 2 of Raise the Dead. You want to talk about that at all?
Exactly. Yeah. Raise the Dead season 2 has completed. You can get it right now. The man who got everything he wanted. The episode about Lyndon Baines Johnson, really the man for whom defines the 1964 election. But in it, we get something that we've never gotten in Raise the Dead history. We get LBJ in his own words.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
cool.
Because what you may or may not know is that those tapes that took down Richard Nixon,
Yep.
where he has all this stuff recorded and everything.
Yeah.
He didn't put those machines into the White House.
LBJ
Lyndon Baines
did.
Johnson did.
Yeah.
Because he did it while he was in the Senate. He secretly taped people, so he would always know who promised him stuff, and he knew exactly what they promised and whether or not they were screwing him. He brought that practice to the White House, and so after Watergate broke and journalists and academia were suing the Nixon administration and everybody with control of those tapes to have them become public record, the LBJ folks were like, all right, we know they're coming for us at a certain point. So they voluntarily released a bunch, and we get some insane access to LBJ to fill out exactly what he was feeling in these moments, taking over from JFK, how he maneuvered the press to help him with the civil rights legislation, and his intense paranoia with Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
That eventually led to a man who was about to win one of the biggest landslides in American history, drafting a resignation letter at his own convention. And you hear him do it on this episode of Raise the Dead. All that including a secret Senate sex den, and the most balls out political advertising of its age that LBJ loosed against Barry Goldwater. It is, I think, the best episode I've ever done. So please go check it out. RaiseTheDeadPodcast.com.
Highly agree with every statement there. It is your best episode,
sure.
and those tapes are great because I thought they only had like the stuff from the Vietnam. Like a bunch of tapes were used in that Ken Burns documentary about Vietnam.
Yeah,
and I was surprised at how wide ranging that was. Like how much actual content they had. I'm like, wow, they have a lot of tape of him nervously talking to McNamara and like all this stuff back and forth. And your episode made me realize, they have even more than that. So well done.
Yeah. And by the way, that Vietnam is a huge part of that, as this episode, as well as he's trying to make it not a 1964 issue. And you see the very beginnings of what would become a troubling pattern for LBJ of just sort of kicking the can down the road that eventually led to the quagmire that was Vietnam.
Wow. All right. Check it out, everybody. That's Raise the Dead. You can find it at raisethedeadpodcast.com. And, of course, Justin R. Young on Twitter and on Twitch. Right after this, you'll be on Twitch, and I'll send people over there. Have a good one, Justin. We'll see you next time.
Play the clip.
Oh, shit. I forgot to play the clip. Damn it.
The jury will now retire.
All right. Brian's right.
I'm sorry. I tried.
I'm glad you tried, because I certainly did not try. All right, Brian, we're at the portion of the show where we acknowledge I screwed up yesterday and didn't play the Monday mashup, and I'm going to play it now as a
important
penance.
thing is that you feel bad. That's the
Well, look, I as an act of penance.
Right. Yes.
We're gonna play it now. So Jamie did big work on this, thankfully, and we're gonna now listen to it. This mashup is called "Let Me Outta Here." And we'll find out what that means now. Have you heard?
Everybody's heard about the bird. I said a bird, bird, bird. A bird's the word. I said a bird, bird, bird.
Those stupid, I don't know what they're called, not chocobos, but the floating little white bunny dudes with the ball on their head. What are they called?
Right. What'd you call them? What'd you call them?
Blutos? I don't know. They're weird. Moogles or Moogles?
Moogles, of course.
Yeah, I know. So there's stuff I got to get through first to get to the real meat of the cheese here. But I'll get there. I'll let
Scott,
you know what
you had me a little concerned about your cheese eating.
Yeah, there's some cheese eating.
Well, you said you got to the meat of the cheese.
Yeah, the meat of the
That's
cheese.
That's an odd statement, my friend.
No, if you open, you're telling me your cheese isn't just an outer layer of cheese and inside is meat? Is that what you're saying to me? That you don't have meat in your cheese?
I am telling you that is correct.
A little too much mayo. I had to wipe some of that out of there.
Sure.
Wipe it like a baby's bum. Just get in there with a napkin and. Yep. Bob and Barry Ann. Bob and Barry Ann. Barry and Bobby Ann Folks.
Wow, I think they're taking it back.
Bob and Barry Ann.
Bob and Barry Ann.
You see how short my sword is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
See how embarrassingly short that sword is?
Yeah, I've heard that about you before.
Yeah, yes. It's embarrassing.
I was an Uber taxi driver till I farted real loud, and then they kicked me out. Stick it into the unit there.
Okay, I'll hello.
The old cut and paste there. I didn't really feel the prick.
Right, there you go. Sometimes Jamie just need a little freebie.
I don't know how to read this. Makajewski? Is
Yeah,
that right?
Something like that. I would say the last 6 letters are definitely Jewski.
Okay.
And I would say it's either Macy Jewski or Massajewski.
That last part is definitely Jewski.
Definitely Jewski. There's definitely some Jewski in that name there. Sounds like, yeah, you got a little Jewski in you.
Yeah, you got a little Jewski. We haven't done Undiscovered Country or 4, the quest for whales.
The search for whales.
Whatever it's called.
The undiscovered voyage to find whales.
Yeah. He had a wiener outline in his pants that I could see.
Oh, yeah. What choice did it have?
Yes.
And where are we going to go?
Crying out the most.
What choice?
I can just imagine this, just like pressed against the pants going, oh,
Let me out of here. All my sperm dead.
Breathe.
Wow, that thing was all over the map. We had a little boop in there, a little film sack. Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Did he miss the whole thing? Or I guess that wasn't the most recent film sack where he talked about Terry Bradshaw comes on anything now.
Oh, that was this week. Yeah, he hasn't got there yet.
He hasn't gotten to that one yet.
I
You're
am-
in for a treat, Jamie.
Yeah, we got that coming. So, no pun intended. All right. Now this.
Fan.
Quick fan service for Carl from Idaho, Blue Bottle in the Tadpool. He says, my younger brother is a co-host of a new podcast called Understanding This. In his subject, he had said, by the way, speaking of Therapy Thursdays, and he goes on to say in here, if you'd like Wendy's Therapy Thursday on TMS, you might enjoy Understanding This. Do you wish others understood you better?
Understanding us.
What'd I say?
This.
This? Shit. Understanding Us. Why did I say this?
I don't know, but I figure, there are only a few things that I'll like try to jump in and correct. And if it's the name of something that people might want to look up, I'm going to cut in and
Yeah,
interrupt.
if it's like part of a URL or important information that you can't
Yes,
get
exactly.
anywhere
Carry
else.
Carry on.
Understanding This, it's called. Do you wish others understood you better or that you could understand others? This is a podcast for you. Sophia Veals? What'd you say?
Vale. I think Vale.
All right. Vale's co-host interviews. Co-hosts interview couples and discuss their dynamics, explore historical figures and their personalities, and get informed by experts about everything from stress to work relations to child rearing, or to raising children is what I wrote, but my brain went somewhere else. Anyway, search for Understanding Us in your podcast player or go to anchor.fm/understanding-us. This is from Carl in Idaho. Well done, Carl. Hey,
Thank you, Carl.
if y'all have a fan service, you want us to read it, we'd be happy to. You got a little project on the side, you do a little something on an Etsy store, whatever it is, let us know. We'll talk about it here on Der Schoenheimen. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to do it for the show, everybody. Thanks for being here today. A reminder that we are funded by your good graces at patreon.com/TMS. There's still a little time in the month for you to hop on there, even at the lowest level, and still get rad stuff, including bonus content and the rest. This month we'll be doing... will it be on the 31st we're doing the play date with the new Jackbox? I think we are, right?
That's yes, on Halloween.
Halloween.
On All Hallows Eve. And we can
Ooh.
actually start earlier because we don't have a film sack that day.
Oh, right.
We could start it at 9.
I
Be
forgot.
done at 10:30.
We were,
11
because
o'clock.
Randy's out of town. You're right. We're still doing Film Sack. Don't worry, everybody. We're just doubling up
Yes.
this weekend. So we got you covered. Anyway, so check that out. frogpants.com/TMS for everything else you're looking for. Email us, themorningstream@gmail.com. And a little reminder, don't do it very often, but check us out on Twitter. Brian's at Coverville. I'm at Scott Johnson, and the show is at Morning Stream. We will now leave, but we can't leave until Brian slaps our ass on the way out with some fine music.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do.